Hi everyone! Today, my teammates Natalia Galvez, Alexa Avilés, Diego Juarez, and me, Kamila Manzanarez, are going to talk about 4 important environmental issues. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is actually made of 2 garbage patches, the Western Garbage Patch, which is located near Japan, and the Eastern Garbage Patch, which is located between Hawaii and California. Plastics are the most common type of trash entering the ocean, mainly because of its durability and low cost to industrial products, but it does not biodegrade and goes into further degradation, turning into smaller pieces that the sun breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces. This endangers the marine life, such as loggerhead sea turtles, who often mistake plastic bags for jellies. Albatrosses mistake plastic resin pellets for fish eggs, dying of starvation and ruptured organs. By 2018, synthetic fishing nets made up almost half of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, endangering marine mammals who can get entangled in forgotten fishing nets, causing them to drown. If you were wondering how important this problem is, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is so big that you can actually see it from space using a satellite.
The effects of overpopulation are devastating the natural resources because of the waste that big number cities cause. People doesn't have the habit of recycling even when there is a big demand of production. If we educate ourselves about growth moderation, we wouldn't have as many social problems like the difficulty to access essential materials, transportation, lack of water or food. The world is growing very fast and has big cities with such a big population, so we cannot kill or limit a couple to have a certain number of children. But an investigation says that the amount of children in some places with the highest populations is low, so the actual impact is families that have more than 2 children per household. The difference in between those families is the type of education. Families with a better level of education, you can see less women having large families. Meanwhile, the countries that have lower level of education tend to see degraded down. In conclusion, we need to educate young people correctly to make them reflect about how to stabilize world's population, which can make a better economy, a better access to education and needs, and obviously helping the world.
Air pollution is a terrible problem all over the world, which is caused by humans. As a result, this has negative effects that are affecting many living beings, and not only people, also animals and nature. This is developed by different gases and chemicals that are in the air. People who breathe this polluted air have serious health problems. We know that this affects us all in general, but more to older adults, through age, people who are sick or who live in places with a high level of pollution, and children, as they are much more vulnerable to this. Many health problems which humans get can be developed from polluted air, including asthma attacks that occur when someone breathes air containing harmful toxic chemicals that causes an infection in the lungs. This environmental issue can cause lung and skin cancer, since being in extreme and constant contact and consumption of this contaminated substance affects us terribly. Although it may not seem credible, another consequence is that it affects the mental development of children, since it increases the risk of suffering from depression and schizophrenia due to the high levels of substances that the air contains. Global warming is another of the many consequences that air pollution causes, and is a terrible big problem, which is also caused by many other environmental factors. In simple words, by humans, but as a consequence of air pollution is caused by chemicals and toxic gases that come from vehicles, factories, garbage burning, etc.
Deforestation. Deforestation refers to the decrease in green forest areas across the world that are lost for other uses such as agricultural croplands, urbanization, or mining activities. The causes of deforestation are either made by humans or natural disasters. One example of a natural disaster that affects the deforestation would be a forest fire. And one example of the activities which are made by humans, will be the expansion of agriculture. That this represents the 80% of global deforestation in the world. Deforestation has many consequences for the world ecosystem, and it poses serious problems to the residents of the planet. The most known consequence of deforestation is its threat to biodiversity, because the forest is home for so many types of animals, such as mammals to birds. By destroying the forest, we put in danger the whole ecosystem and the form of life that lives there. Without the trees, the animals won't be able to sustain themselves, and soon, if we continue, we won't be able to sustain ourselves.